They dislike me. They dislike me because I'm always right. Bah. Alright, so what did I write about this time? Nick Rekieta, the grand fall off. Less than 24 hours after I made my video, where, I basically came back and I said what's been going on since, since I left for a little bit of vacation. Good old friend Nick has been falling apart quite literally. But, like I said, less than 24 hours. This comes up, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I just like to tell you that I told you so. I told you from back in Weeb Wars, and Copapalooza has started, right? I mean, in a previous video I had asked you, the people, what do you think, like, the Umbrella Guy? What do you think, Flash? What do you think, these people are gonna do when, essentially shit hits the fan and, things happen, the way in their natural order. And well, I guess we got our, answers, so to speak. So we got, a very, very enlightening speech from the Umbrella Guy. Essentially what he says here is, Nick has been arrested. It's like I said yesterday. He's quashing, and people will cheerlead you to the bottom. I hope he gets his shit sorted, and his kids are, 1, safe, and 2, this doesn't impact him having them. If he needs rehab and help, plenty of people will. Which is a very, very interesting speech. Good old speech. I'll go over the intricacies of it right now in a little bit, but just to point out what Flash, Yellow Flash replied to this, and he said, "Please let this be a wake-up call." So, interesting take on the whole thing. Essentially, what they're doing is they're playing the part of concerned citizen. And essentially, they're doing the right thing in terms of being an e-celeb. Part of the reason that with your brand, you try to look as, marketable as possible is because that's what you need in essentially this era of YouTube, unfortunately. So it's really hard to find anybody that's authentic about pretty much anything. When it comes to these people, they are what I believe... Maybe 45% of them mean this, but like the other percentage is obviously just the good PR. One of the things that I've noticed too from like people like Kumalot over here, who faked his own swatting, by the way, so we already know he's very credible. But this guy over here, along with Umbrella Guy, kind of make this whole narrative where, or at least are trying to put this persuasiveness into the people as to like Nick being sort of a victim. guys, Kumalot, Tug, my old mentor, I guarantee you, well, Tug would probably already knows this, but Nick is not a victim, my guys, okay? Like, I mean, Kumalot, I could probably believe is too stupid to understand it, because, again, we're talking about a guy that faked his own swatting, but like, yeah, I am pretty sure Umbrella Guy knows this too. Nick is his own worst enemy. Nick has been doing this to himself. This is not a case of Nick being a victim. Here's the reality with Rekieta. He spent a bunch of his money on coke and drugs and all these other things, and he spent the majority of his time on the internet ridiculing people below him and trying to push them to Yeetus Deletus. There is a literal fucking 20+ minute rant of him trying to get an old pay pig of his to essentially, game end. There's literally that right there. And you're gonna tell me that we should feel bad for little Nicky, for Nicky the Nose? Oh my god, we gotta feel bad for Nick, guys. We gotta feel bad for Nick. Hell fucking no, bro. Hell no. You know what it is? We should be dogpiling the fuck out of Nick Rekieta. Because, look, man, anybody that wants to act like a badass on the internet, right? Anybody that's had it so easy, okay? And this is the one thing I hate, right? When people have it so fucking easy. They have it so easy. And they fuck it up, or they try to act like perpetual fucking victims. Nick, you had it so easy compared to people like me, alright? They talk about me, they say the most fucked up shit about me, they twist shit, everything, and you fucking did this too. You and Patrick, whatever the fuck his name is, that Spectre idiot, right? Patrick whatever, right? You can look him up on Kiwi Farms. You guys, right? But you yourself, Nick, you're so weak that you fall into this fucking like self-destruction bullshit and whatever, and now you have your own little cheerleading squad trying to fix your image, you know, to not be like, oh yeah, this guy is a total drug addict, he's a fucking failure of a fucking father. You know what? I'm gonna tell you how it is, real talk, because I don't give a shit about a fucking brand. I don't give a shit about people on the internet. As far as like being friends on the internet, like 30 people have backstabbed me and have then rewritten history to be like, MrSEN backstabbed me. No more. I'll tell you how it is, bro. Alright? Rekieta, you're a failure of a fucking dad. I've said this before. I've never shied away from saying it. I will say it to your fucking face. And you better not give me a fucking attitude. Alright? Especially how you are now. I don't think you'd be able to muster anything, bro. What I'm trying to say is, you and your basic Becky wife are failures as parents. You LARPed around as if you weren't. Now the kids are gonna suffer. Because you guys couldn't quench your drug addict addiction. You know, you couldn't keep the promiscuity, the swinger lifestyle to a minimum. And now, anybody that supports you, you fucking idiot, you failure of a fucking parent, that pretend to give a shit about parenting, that pretend to give a shit about morals, that pretend to give a shit about family, they're just as bad as you, bro. Because you're not going to pull the rug from under unsuspecting people to try to make this douchebag, this failure of a fucking parent, this failure of a fucking human being, look like he's anything more than a fucking failure. Pipe bomb.